Well, Merry Christmas, everyone. Oh, come on now. You can do better than that. Merry Christmas, everybody. Oh, all right. You're starting to get the hang of it. You are starting to get the hang. Well, welcome to Discover Church. My name is Curtis Jones. Me and my wife, Amy, we help to lead Discover Church. And we wanted just to take the opportunity to welcome you here today. We're so excited that you're joining us here. We're getting ready to kick off a brand new series called Chris Mas. That's right, Mas. No, I'm not speaking Spanish this whole time because that would be the shortest message ever, okay? I just want to let you know, all right? No, Mas because it's more. We're talking about Christmas being more today. And just want to ask if you would, if you're first time here, we just want to thank you for being here. Make sure you take the opportunity to fill out your connection card today. You can put that in the offering or see us at Next Steps at the end of service. And then we'd love to give you a little gift for being here with us today. We also want to let you know that this week or not this week, but this month, however, for check-in, you've seen at the very beginning of service is for One Hope. So we are a technology-driven society. We totally acknowledge that. So if you take your phone out right now, if you have Facebook, if you check in and say that you're at Discover Church today, you will be part of helping someone or a child somewhere in the world to receive a book that has the message of God and of Jesus in it. So every 3 check-ins equals 1 book. So that's right. So as you go throughout today, take the opportunity, take your phone out there, check in, make sure you say you were at Discover Church, and then you can make a difference in somebody's life just by saying that you're here. It's that easy, okay? Now, I also want to give a little disclaimer, okay? We do stuff a little different here sometimes, all right? So we got a little bit of stuff we like to throw in just to catch you off guard, just because you didn't know church could be different, all right? How many of you have been to church, you sing a couple songs, you listen to a guy speak, and then you leave, all right? Well, we do stuff a little bit differently, and today is one of those days we wanted to take the opportunity because it's Christmas. I am a little bit of a Christmas freak, okay? Actually, my whole family is. If you don't believe me, if anybody knows where Conaway Road is in Millsboro, okay? It's just over the Georgetown line, like you're kind of cutting between Georgetown to Gumboro, okay? Go down Conaway Road, and you'll see just what I mean when I say our family's a little bit of Christmas freaks. We like to go a little bit extreme with some stuff because we have, like, I don't even know, like 100,000 lights out between like 5 of our houses out there. Okay, trust me, you can literally, you can't miss it. Okay, come a little after 5:30, you can't miss it. All right, if you come into my house right now, you would see Christmas is thrown up all over my house. All right, I got the trees. We got little baby trees. We got big trees. We got stuff on fireplaces. We got more stockings than we have. I don't even know why we have so many stockings. You know what I mean? There's only 4 of us that live in the house. We got like 25 stockings hung all over the place. Some of you have the same thing. You have the same problem, and that's okay. But what I'm saying in the meantime is we're going to play a little game. You want to throw that up? What our game is for the day? We're going to play a little game. Is Name That Tune Christmas Edition. Now, if you haven't been here when we've played a game in the past, okay, here is simply how it goes, okay? Basically, what we do is I'm going to come through. Actually, Hannah, I have a lovely assistant today. She's so much prettier than my normal assistant. My brother, he's not very pretty at all, I don't think. So Hannah is going to be our assistant. Hannah, I'm going to let you go through, and you're going to pick our 4 contestants out today, okay? I know you didn't know that was part of the deal, but it's part of the deal right now, okay? So here's the deal. All I have, if you think that you know, you're like the Mac Daddy of knowing Christmas carols or Christmas songs, all right? I want to invite you, just raise your hand if you want to play a game. I promise you, I'm not going to embarrass you. I don't want to snatch people out of the audience if they don't want to be. There's something in it for you if you come up here, okay? I will tell you that. And do I have any takers? Oh, come on. Oh, I got one in the back. All right. Come on up. Do you have anybody else? I can't have a game with one person. Come on. I know y'all been listening to Q105. You've been listening to Christmas music since it came on. Come on, Rachel. All right, I got another one here. I got 3. I got one more. I need one more spot. I got one more Christmas Carol spot. Come on, who do I got? Who? Oh, which one? Who's pointing out? Okay, I got 3 here. I still got one more. Oh, come on. What I got to like auction this stuff off? All right, it's all right. We'll just play. We'll do a 3. All right. So here's how this is going to go. Okay. I am not going to get you on spelling, okay? So I just want to straight say that right off the fact. I'm a horrible speller. My son yells at me all the time because I don't know how to spell anything, all right? But here's the deal. We're going to play a couple Christmas carols. You guys can play out here if you want. Just do me a favor. This is just like The Price is Right or any other game show. Don't yell out the answers if you know the answers. All right? That's the only thing you got to do. But you can play along. I'm going to play a little clip of a song. Okay? I want you to, be able to name the song. Okay? You get 1 point for knowing the name of the song. You get 2 points if you know the artist. Okay? All right, so 1 point for the song, 2 points for the artist, and what you're going to do, we're going to use the honor system here, okay, because we are up in church, all right? I need you to write your score, keep track of your own score at the bottom, and if all of a sudden you have like 150,000, we're going to know that you did it wrong, all right? All right, so here we go. Are you ready? I think I've got this set. Let me get ready here and see. Here's going to be your first one, okay? No. Hold on, somebody done muted me all. I had all this set up before service. I was going to look super slick coming out from the back and just knowing how to work everything, and it didn't work. And so we're going to take, and now you're going to really hear it. I left you in a total suspense there for a while. Now you're going to really hear it. All right, here it is. Ready? All right, there's your little clip. Come on, you don't know that? You even caught the end of the title in the first little bit there. All right, so let's see. We've got all right, so we got 3 points for each of you because you got Elvis. Of course, that's classic Elvis Presley. Listen, I've indoctrinated my children so bad, okay? My daughter, who is 9, okay? Whenever she hears anybody else singing Blue Christmas, Daddy, that ain't right because that ain't Elvis singing Blue Christmas. All right, that's just how stuff rolls around the Jones household. Okay, all right, so that's that one. All right, here is your next one. Now that one, okay, that was a little warm up. That wasn't too hard. You better come on, or they're going to sweep you. All right, they're just going to wipe you out. All right, here we go. Here's the next one. I'll give you a little bit. All right, that's all you're going to get, you know? No clue? All right, so you think Stevie Wonder? All right, that's the guess. Anybody out here know? Yeah. No, man, come on, you guys, I'm going to have to send you all back to Christmas Carol school. That is Merry Christmas, Baby, which is the first words of the song, okay, by Otis Redding. Come on, y'all need to bring on out some Otis Redding. You know you need you some Otis up in Christmas. Come on. All right. Now, this is one that literally makes me want to pull the little bit of hair that I have left out when I hear this song on the radio, okay? All right, that's all I'm going to give you because I can't even play any more of it, all right? All right, so we got one here. He's thinking on the end. He's trying to let the ladies not just sweep him under the rug after the first couple songs here. All Over for Christmas Is You. What do you got there? Okay, I'll give it to you. All right, Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You. And listen, that song was good the first billion times I heard it, okay? After that, I'm just like, okay, we get it. Mariah, I get it. Sing another song, all right? That's 3 points. All right, 3 points for each of you. All right, we're going to do a couple more here before we move on out. All right, and let's see. Okay, now this is the old one. This is a throwback. Let's see if you can get it. Man, I was going to say, I know you all know it. You're singing it. I hear you. You don't know the name? No, I was going to say it wouldn't help you because it already said it. It's actually Christmas is the name in quotations. Baby, please come home. And that is Darlene Love singing that one there. Okay, I know. See, you got to. All right, here is one of my all-time favorites. All right, I had to include this because I figure anytime I get to play this in church, it's a good thing. All right, so I got one. All right, I got two. All right, okay, so you get a point. All right, you get 3 points, and you get one. That's Run Run Rudolph by none other but Chuck Berry. Because anytime you get to play Chuck Berry in church, it's a good Sunday. How about it? All right, listen, you came to church, you heard Mariah and Chuck Berry all on the same day. It don't get too much better than that. All right, here we go. I think I'm going to maybe give you this one and one more to see. And we played this a little earlier. Oh, hold on. Oh, come on now. No word. You need words? Come on. All right, if you don't have it from that, you ain't getting it. All right, all right. Now, not on Jingle Bells. All right. Hey, you get the artist. You get 2 points for the artist. That's Run DMC, Christmas in Hollis, and I'll finish with this very last one. This will be our last one, and we'll see what the tallies are. All right, here it is. Here he is, Mr. Christmas himself. All right, we got Bing Crosby, White Christmas, and what you get one for, or you get one for White Christmas, and you guys get 3 for that. And do me a favor, tally up your points because I wasn't that good at math either, and then let me know the grand total. And how did y'all do it? Nobody got them all right because y'all didn't know Otis. I could see it. You had that puzzled look on your face. All right, I need you to expand your Christmas library. Okay, I need you to get out of just the Bing Crosbys and Mariah Careys of the world, and you need to grow it a little bit. Okay, what do we got total? She got a 10. I got a 12 and a 7. All right. Well, that means that none other than Miss Gail, you win. And listen, I told you, you could have come up, you could have played, and you could have walked away if you won with a $25 Regal card to go to the movies. And because we have consolation prizes, because why not? You were the brave ones to come up, but you get a Blizzard because you're so cool. You get to go to Dairy Queen, and so do you. You get a little Dairy Queen happening action there. That's it. All right. Awesome. Well, listen, hopefully you guys were able to sing along a little bit with us today. And obviously Christmas is coming. We'll let you know next week. You do not want to miss. Next week is Ugly Christmas Sweater Week, or Ugly Christmas Outfit if you want. Okay. I don't want to limit it to just sweaters. If you've got the whole antlers and I don't even know, little booty things. My wife has the ones with the bells on them. They drive me nuts. She got them that way because they're bells and they drive me nuts. She knew she wanted to do that. But anyway, so we got some exciting things happening for Christmas. We got Ugly Christmas Sweater next week. And we also have next Sunday night, we want to invite you out we're doing a small group for the month. And that's going to be starting at the West Home in Frankfurt. What we're going to do, we're all going to meet there, and then we're going to take a bus as a group. We got a bus to go down to Ocean City to see the lights at Winterfest down in Ocean City. It's going to be a great time. My wife told me to make sure I made this announcement, though, about that. Make sure you bring it. There is an admission fee for Winterfest lights. I think it's like $5, and they only take cash. So if you were like me and you never have cash with you, make sure you do, because I'll try to cover you if I can remember to bring my own cash. If not, you're going to have to cover me next Sunday night, okay? But we're getting ready to start our new series, Christmas, all right? So Christmas is more. How many of you, Christmas is like your favorite time of the year, like you just love it? No? None of you? Okay, a handful of you. All right. How many of you tolerate Christmas with a little teeny bit of disdain? Okay, 1 or 2 of you. That's okay, too. Not everybody's got to be all about Christmas all the time. All right. But we just wanted to start off our series here talking about Christmas. And one of the things that we wanted to kind of kick off this series with is Christmas really has the tendency, okay, to either magnify the really good things or also magnify the really bad things. So maybe you or somebody around you has experienced a death in their family, right, around Christmas, sometime between Thanksgiving and Christmas or New Year's. And you know what that does? For a lot of people, that really stirs the pot of emotions that they have, and it kind of can bring them down come Christmas. And it makes it basically feel like they have to try to fake it. You know, they have to fake the whole Christmas smile because they're experiencing stuff from their past, or they're dealing with things. And today, one of the things that we're going to be talking about, though, in magnifying the good or the bad, is overcoming offenses. Okay? Now, how many of you would be totally straight up honest and you would say that, guess what? I can be somewhat easily offended, like if or not easily offended, but I can be offended. I have my moments where like something will pluck my nerves. Anybody, would you be brave enough? Okay, a couple of you are brave enough. Listen, I will tell you, when it comes to being offended, my number one spot that really pricks me is when I'm driving in the car, because I don't know. It's something about it. Just driving the vehicle. I just want nobody in my way ever. Like ever. I don't know if you ever experienced that. You just don't want anybody in front of you ever. They don't know how to use their blinker, or they do. They just ride with it for 3 miles before they turn, or, you know, whatever it is. One of the things that really gets me though is like when you're driving and you're trying to get out of somewhere kind of crazy and packed, right? And you do the little wave thing where you let the person in because you're a good person, and Jesus, you just blessing the world with Jesus right then when you let that person in front, you know, you give them a little wave, but then they don't even give you like the acknowledgement, the wave back. They don't even pay no attention to you. You'd be like, oh, that's how it is. I see how it is. Come on, we will throw down right here. You could have sat here for 5 more minutes before I let you go out there. All right. So that's one. Another big one for me, I do attempt to do this. If I haven't done this for you, I apologize. Well, I attempt to hold the door for people, you know, when people come in, and then, you know, you hold the people for some people, they don't even say nothing. They just walk right through. But get back here. Open your own door. I'm not going to open the door for you no more, you know. The other one, you know, you get, and obviously we live in a technological world, and you get those people, you be talking to people and they're on the phone. Oh, does that bug you? I just say, am I the only person that's experienced somebody who wants to have a conversation with you and Snapchat and tweet and all that other stuff all at the same time? Oh, I see some looks coming around. Woo, boy, we're gonna have some work tonight or today in here. But how about in technological speaking, you know, how many of you're on Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or whatever, and you be liking other people's your friends, you be liking posts and stuff like that, and then they don't like your posts, and then you get upset, and then you want to block them and unfollow them. Again, nobody ever does anything like that now, right? Or one of the ones, how many of your phones, I don't know if this is something relatively new on mine, or I'm just an idiot and I don't really pay attention to it, but when you send a text to somebody, it'll bring those little bubbles up, like when they start to type, right? So you just sit there, you'll send a text, and then you get those bubbles, like they're getting ready to respond to you, but then they never respond to you. Like, and it takes 24 hours, and you're like, oh, I see how it is. We're like a 24-hour response type of thing now, you know? By the way, if I respond to you late 24 hours, it's probably because I totally missed your text. I just totally, my son or my wife, sometimes they'll look at my phone, they'll look at my text messages, then they never tell me. That's another time, a point in which I can get a little offended. Could be like, how did you not tell me? Scott, the leader for the worship team, we were texting and I totally missed his thing. And I know he's like, Curtis is just ignoring me now. But I'm not. I promise I'm not. But we have the opportunity at holidays, you know, when we get friends and family, they come around and you get that one person in your family who wants to criticize you on like how you raise your kids or how your kids are acting. That doesn't offend you either, does it? That doesn't get you upset. How about the person that brings, when you have the office party or the family party, you know, everybody's supposed to bring some food, and, you know, you bring all your food, you work, even though your schedule is crazy, you take the opportunity, you make the food, you bring it, and you notice that this person, they didn't bring any food, but they got the Tupperware container because they're going to make sure they take some of that food home with them. Oh, yeah, you've experienced that one too. Be like, I know you just didn't. Try to come in here. Steal all the pretzel salad up. You know, come on, don't be taking the pretzel salad. I want some of that at home. But we understand that there are things in our life around Christmas time and other points in our life where offenses can creep in, right? And the problem is some offenses are small, but some obviously are bigger, and some are more serious. We realize that some offenses come from these betrayals, right? These deep hurts, these people lie to you, they lie to your face, or they lie about you behind your back, or you've experienced some type of abusive situation in your past, and you can become offended by that, right? Now, I will tell you, not all offenses are probably unjustifiable, right? Now, some obviously are, but some offenses, when people hurt you, it's kind of a natural, instinctive thing inside of us, isn't it? To be offended by this person because of what they've done, because they've hurt you, or maybe they hurt somebody close to your family. Maybe they wanted to say something bad about one of your kids. Don't talk about my kids, okay? I'm normally easy, cool, laid back guy, but you want to mess with my kids, boy, something comes out, right? Like you just want to get crazy. You just want to act nuts. But at the same time, we realize that Christ, the way Jesus Christ has come for each one of us, He's intended for us to live an offense-free lifestyle. He's intended for us not to have to worry about this deepening divide that we can have between us and people that were close to us, because we can see, if we're not careful around Christmas times or holiday times, that we can have these relationships just destroyed, where Christmas dinners end up almost in a fight or a brawl, or our coworkers where just want to get down each other's throats. And we have to take the opportunity to realize, and one of the things I wanted to kind of share out of this message for this Christmas season, that, I would hate to imagine, right, a point in time where you or I would sit down with our friends or relatives or family members to be able to sit down and to open gifts. But at the same time, we're opening gifts, we're doing it with a closed heart. We have such coldness towards people around us, towards the people that we're supposed to be loving and caring for, but we can't do it because we're holding on to stuff from our past and stuff that we deal with. See, we can't celebrate Jesus, the love that Jesus has for us at Christmas, right? Where He came when He was born as a gift to us. We can't celebrate that while we're taking the opportunity to hate someone that's close to us. See, because one of the things that we have to realize, especially if we believe in Jesus Christ, if we believe in God, right? God has extended to us the opportunity to have grace. So He's given us grace, but the problem is when we hold on to offenses, we're not extending that grace to anyone else. It basically stops. Like, we can think that we can receive it, but we don't have to give it out. So one of the I'll tell you, I won't say that I'm like superly easily offended, but it is something that I've dealt with in my past, where I can take the opportunity to be offended over something really small and stupid that really doesn't make any sense or any big of it. It's not a big deal really when it comes down to it. But yet at the same time, I find myself avoiding people, not wanting to have conversations because of things that have happened to me, where I want to hold on to that. And I want to let you know this point that I think we're getting ready to put up here. I think it's in the slides. But your life, okay, is too short, and your calling is too big to live offended, okay? Your life is too short, and your calling is too big to live an offended life. Because I want to let you know that our lifespan, is 100 years maybe, and that really, when it counts to eternity, is really not much time at all. So when we take the opportunity to think about ourselves in an eternal aspect, we can realize that life for us is so short. It's just a drop. In the scriptures, it talks about life being a mist. It's here 1 second and then it's gone. And we understand that, life is so short and so precious. Why do we want to take that opportunity to hold on to something and become angry and bitter over something that really is not helping us? It's not serving us in the long run. We need to be able to release that. Now, I want to let you know, I come to a realistic understanding a little bit ago that my kids are basically, I don't even know how I come to this thought. I guess maybe they had a birthday and I was thinking about how old they were and realizing that apparently I'm getting pretty old too, because they're getting old. But I've realized now that my kids have spent more time with me. They've lived longer with me than I have left with them. You understand? So my son's 12. That means he's already lived with me longer so far in his 12 years than I have to live with him till he moves out and goes to college or whatever he does as he goes older. He's going to college. He doesn't know that, but he's going to college. Okay. My daughter's the same way. My daughter's 9, so multiply that out. Basically, my daughter, I'm like at the halfway point with her. I only have so many more years with my kids before they're gone, before they're out of my house and they're off and they're going to start their own families and do their own things. So I have to take the opportunity to seize the moments as they come and realize that it's so easy for us to hold on and become bitter about things. And listen, when we hold offenses against other people, whether it's our family, our friends, our neighbors, our coworkers, whoever it is, when we hold these offenses in, it affects our other relationships. It affects more relationships. It has the ripple effects that when we hold on to this, it kind of continues out and carries into other aspects of our lives because we're not able to live open and free in Christ like we should. I want to let you know that one of the things that I really kind of think is that small people can hold big grudges, all right? We can hold huge grudges, can't we? I've heard stories, and maybe you have over the years, about people that you know that haven't talked to somebody in their family for like 20, 30 years, all because they left a rut in their driveway or something crazy like years ago, and they never apologized, and it just kind of blew up, and it just got way out of control and out of proportion. But I want to start off, we're going to read a couple scriptures today, and the first one we're going to start off with is in Proverbs 19:11. The book of Proverbs is considered the book of wisdom because it has scripture in it just like this, and I wanted to take the opportunity to share this with you today. And it says that a person's wisdom yields patience, okay? So a person's wisdom yields patience. It is to one's glory to overlook an offense, okay? It says a person's wisdom yields patience. It is to one's glory to overlook an offense. I want you to say that with me. Say overlook an offense. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Overlook an offense. All right? Now, what does it mean to overlook an offense? To overlook an offense does not mean to act like it did not happen, okay? To pretend, because it still did, and you're just not accepting the fact that the offense happened in your life. Okay? But when we take the opportunity to overlook an offense, it basically means that we're willing to let the offense go. It's a form of forgiveness when we take this and we let it go, and we're willing to say, you know what? This did happen to me. I'm hurt. But because of Christ, because of Jesus, I'm willing to overlook the offense. I'm willing to let this go and forgive because of that. If you were to look, and I'm not going to go into my Hebrew because I don't speak very good Hebrew. I've got a couple words that I can say, and that's about it, okay? Other than that, if I was to try to read it to you, I'm going to butcher it, all right? But in Hebrew, the words, when you look at the scripture, when it talks about overlook, there's 2 words in Hebrew that help to describe overlook, and they mean to pass over. So when we're taking the opportunity to overlook the offense, we're passing over the offense, and we're saying, you know what? Because you did this, I'm willing to let go of it, and I'm willing to pass over. So we have to take the opportunity to when people want to get offended, or when we want to get offended at people, we have to be willing to take the opportunity to draw close enough to God that we're not close enough to the offense, to the situation. We have to realize that God has called us into a better relationship, not only with Him, but with other people. And He asks us, when we're willing to overlook that we're going to be able to be drawn closer to God in order to overlook the offense. Now, René Descartes, who is a French philosopher, had this really cool saying, and I just wanted to share it today that I found. He said, whenever anyone has offended me, he said, I try to raise my soul so high that the offense cannot reach me. He said, whenever that happens, I want to become bring my soul so high that the offense doesn't have the opportunity to really get into me, so that I don't really have the opportunity to fester on it and have the situation come out of control. Because we have to understand today that our life is too short and our calling is too great. God has so much more for you. He has so much for me than to hold on to the offenses that we have over time and just carry them along like baggage with us. We have the baggage that we can bring along, and then guess what? After a while, it gets sick. You get sick of carrying baggage. You get sick. Listen, even if you got one of them rolling carts rolling through the airport, guess what? After a while, you get sick of dragging that stupid thing because the wheel wants to act up and gets all crazy and cockeyed. You get sick of carrying the stuff around with us. But we have to understand that with God's help, He can help us get over the offense. He can help us become to get over getting easily offended. Okay? He can help you when that car cuts me off and I don't like it and I want to get offended at the person that I don't even know this person's name. Okay? I have no idea. All I know is they're driving a blue Toyota Camry and I don't like Toyota Camrys all of a sudden. You know what I mean? I can have the opportunity to let that go, and I don't have to hold that back, so that the next blue Toyota Camry, I'm not thinking about the first guy that cut me off. All right? I can be able to release that. I want to read to you out of the book of Ephesians 2. We're going to, it's Ephesians 4:2. I'm going to actually be reading the New Living Translation. You're going to see the NIV up on the screen. It'll be a little bit different, but that's okay. Hang with me, all right? All right, in Ephesians 4:2, it says to always be humble and gentle. Now, I want to let you know, humility, okay? You want to talk about Christmas. Christmas is a beautiful time to be humble. And one of the ways that don't be humble. Okay, this is a way for you not to be humble. A way for you not to be humble is by going around telling everybody how humble you are. Right? You don't have to go around telling people how humble you are, because if you are humble, they should see it through your actions. Okay? I just wanted to point that out there. Humility comes from within, not because we say we have it. All right? It says, always be humble and gentle. It says, be patient with each other, making allowance for each other's faults because of your love. Making allowance for each other's faults because of our love. Listen, we understand that the people that we love, the people that we're close to, are going to have faults because we have faults. You have faults. I have faults. We all do. But we have to be willing to overlook these offenses because we love people. Because of the fact that we love these people, we can't hold on to the stuff that we have in the past. And because of our love, we have to be willing to overcome it and look and to like I said earlier, be able to pass over the offense. Because how many of us know you're not perfect? I will be the first one to tell you, I am not perfect. I am not perfect whatsoever. I have had some problems, all right? But one of the things that we like to do, we like to take and we like to judge others by their actions, right? So if somebody does something bad, well, we want to judge them because of their actions. But then when I screw up, then I've done this before, totally guilty, okay? I don't want people to judge me because of my actions. I want them to judge me for my intentions. I didn't mean to do that, but I did it. So please don't be offended at me, because my intention was not to hurt you or to offend you. But when we look and we see other people, we want to take the opportunity, we want to cast judgment on them because they did this to us. I don't care what their intentions are. I don't care what's going on. I want to take the opportunity to be offended. I want to let you know something that happened a couple weeks ago. And my son has a cell phone that my daughter, she swears it's hers because she's the young one and she thinks everything's hers. But she takes the opportunity to use it when she can. But normally we got a phone for my son so that when he goes to sports practices, he has a way to communicate with us if he needs to. Other than that, normally it stays home and just sits there, collects dust, and waits for somebody to play Candy Crush or something on it. But one of the things that happened a couple weeks ago is he had practice, and he had the phone, and I took him to school that day, and I was driving one of our vehicles. Well, I run, anybody else, if you drop your kids off to school, anybody else run in the 5-minute window? Like they got 5 minutes before they're late. And of course, they can't be late, because then if they're late, then their mom finds out they're late, then I get in trouble. Okay, that's not good, all right? But I generally operate within a 5-minute window, all right? So like sometimes it's a little bit closer, sometimes it comes more like the 3 or the 2-minute window, but in general, it's a 5-minute window. So I roll up to drop them off. They get all their stuff, and I swear my kids, when they look like they're part of a caravan when they get out, because they have book bags, we have this bag, we have lunchbox, we have all this stuff. I don't know what they do in school all day, but it just looks like they take their whole life with them all the time. So they got all their stuff, and they go, and I did not catch this, okay? My son left his phone in the vehicle. So I go about my day, do all my errands, got jobs to do and all this stuff. At some point in time, I switch vehicles with my wife. I don't even remember why. Meanwhile, I had taken the phone and put the phone in the glove box. Again, why? I don't know. I guess it just felt like that was a really great spot to stick it. So needless to say, 3 o'clock rolls around, or 5:30, whatever it was, when my son was getting picked up. All of a sudden, we realize we don't know where the phone is, okay? And of course, I'm sitting there, boy. I want to let you know I'm hot, okay? I don't want to buy. I don't want to buy another cell phone. Do you want to buy another cell phone for your kid? No, I do not want to buy another phone. I'm like, great. Now I got a phone. We got to figure out. And of course, he turned it off, so I don't know where it is. So I can't do the find my phone thing. And I'm just like, gosh, are you serious? Really? Why do we have to go through this again? Why do we go through this where he loses something? Lord, and I'm going through all the things in my mind, right, about why this shouldn't happen. And then all of a sudden, we come and we find out that when my wife goes to pick him up in the one vehicle that the phone is actually in, for some reason, I don't know, but they looked in the glove box and they found it. And of course, they come home and be like, "Hey, Curtis, you're an idiot." And I'm like, what do you mean? They didn't say idiot. That's just how I intended it. Like, it was like, oh, I love you so much, but you're an idiot. It kind of come in my ear that way. So basically, it was just one of those things where after I realized that although he did leave it in the truck, that's totally my fault. I was totally upset with him and with all the whole situation around it, right, at the same time. But at the same time, I'm the dumb one. I did it. It was me. It was so easy for me. And we have situations like that in our lives, right? Where just because we don't pay attention to what's going on around us, we can become so easily distracted by things and upset by things. And we realize that, guess what? When somebody is in a bad mood, guess what? Their bad mood is not about you. How many of you know that? When you interact with people, when they're in the bad mood, it's not always about you. The guy that cuts me off driving, he didn't cut me off because he seen it was me and he says, I'm going to get him. He didn't do that. It's just, guess what? He's running late for work and he needed to get out there. Or his kid, he just got a phone call and his kid's at school and is sick and he needs to go pick him up, so he's in a hurry. And guess what? Sometimes we miss those things. We miss the reason. We miss when you're in Walmart and she's checking out your groceries that you found, right? After you fought like a billion people to get all your stuff in your cart and you finally make it up to the cash register and you're sitting there going, I'm almost out of this place. Anybody ever have that moment in Walmart? Like every time I ever go there, okay? But guess what? When she is not the friendliest because she's not Miss Bubble Pop over there, like, have a great day. We get like, customer service. These people want $15 an hour to work here. You know what I mean? But guess what? I got news for you. You don't know what the last 10 people have said to this woman to get her into the mood that she is in. It isn't about you. But yet at the same time, we let moments like that stack up in our lives and we hold on to these offenses and we just become so carried away in it that we don't understand that things aren't always about us. Just people sometimes have a bad day and we can get caught up in the midst of it. But the thing is this, we've all had those bad days and Christ has called us, guess what? To be able to take and to bring a little bit of joy into those situations where, guess what? You might not be able to fix her bad day when she's there, but boy, you can treat her nice and you can smile at her and you can ask her about her day. And guess what? You can be an institute of change to help turn her day around. And at the same time, realize that that's part of God's calling on each of our lives to be able to change the people's viewpoint that we deal with in a daily basis that we interact with. We understand, really, okay? I understand that some people have offenses that are legitimate, but most of us, we don't. And most of the time when we have offenses, we get so upset and we get so just wrapped up in it. We're building cases, right, against a person that isn't thinking anything about us. We're holding on to a grudge about things that these other people, they're not thinking about. So what's it do? It basically just affects us. It affects our lives. And we have to realize that we have the opportunity to do one or two things through our offenses. We have the opportunity to rehearse it. When we rehearse it, that means we just are taking these situations and we play them over and over and over again, and we become so angry and bitter about them. Or we have the opportunity to try to work to release it. Now, I really believe that releasing comes through Christ, because he has the opportunity to help us see more than one way around things. It's not so much done at us. It's not against us. But it's just something that happened that we got caught in the middle of. And we can be able to release things through Christ. And I understand that sometimes some offenses are big. Some offenses are really big. Sometimes some of the stuff, people that have been abused, people that have had really horrible things happen in their lives, guess what? Those are realistic things that are real for people, and they're understandable to be offended by. They really are. But the problem is still when we've had these really negative things happen to us, when we still hold on to them, guess what? It still affects how we live. It affects our viewpoint and how we can see other people. It doesn't allow us to live free in Christ. And I want to read to you Colossians 3:13. Again, I'm reading from the New Living Translation. It says, make allowance for each other's faults. But here's the point I want to tell you. It says, and forgive anyone who offends you. It says, remember the Lord forgave you, so you must forgive others. Listen, if Jesus has forgiven you at any point in your life for all the crazy stuff that we've done, for all the sin and all the things, all the times we lied and were backstabby and we were nasty to our neighbor and we didn't treat people with the respect that they need, all those times that we did that, guess what? Jesus has forgiven us for all of those things. We have to take the opportunity to try to issue some of that forgiveness back to other people. And we realize that when we have these big, major offenses, guess what that does? When we release that, we understand that, guess what? Release isn't always super easy. It's just not something you get to do to somebody that you've been mad with for 15 years, okay, that you haven't spoke to. When we hold on to that offense, it's not always, maybe these people did something really legitimately bad to you for you to be offended at them. So that release, guess what? When that comes, it might not be like a light switch. It's not just all of a sudden, I'm going to come up and give you a big hug and kiss one day and think everything is okay. Sometimes it's a process. It takes time. It takes energy, work, and effort to do that. And I'm not saying that it's easy by any stretch. By any stretch. But we have to remember, just like Descartes said, whenever someone offends me, I try to take the opportunity to raise myself up. To come so high, to become so close to God that I don't have to worry about having these offenses want to drag me down and pull me back down, to affect my life and to be negative on my life. And as we get ready to close, I want to remind you of a story. Maybe some of you know this story, maybe some of you don't. And I just want to encourage you, if you've got your notes and you've been jotting anything down, jot Genesis 37 down. Genesis 37 is going to tell you the story of a man named Joseph. Now, when I'm saying Joseph, I'm not talking about Mary and Joseph, the dad of Jesus, right? We're talking about Joseph from the Old Testament, who had a whole bunch of brothers. And his brothers did not like Joseph so much. He was the youngest, so in theory, he's supposed to be low on the totem pole, right? Because he's the youngest. No, but he was his dad's favorite. And God had given him the ability to interpret dreams and to do some really amazing things. And he basically was his father's favorite, which didn't, as you can imagine, make his brothers feel very excited. So you think you might have a bad family situation. I can tell you, you don't have anything to take on Joseph. You know why? Because Joseph was so bad that his brothers decided to beat him up and throw him into a pit. Now, at first they thought, well, we'll let him die down there. But some of the more cooler heads prevailed and they said, no, we'll not do that. You know what? Why just let him die? Why not sell him? We can sell him into slavery and then we'll get money. We can go out and do stuff. So what they did is they took their brother after they beat him and they threw him in a pit. They took him, they sold him into slavery. And guess what? He was in slavery and he did really well in where he was put, even though he was a slave, because he had God's blessing on his life. Well, guess what? He was falsely accused of something that he didn't do. He had the chance to hold on to offense, but he didn't. He was put into prison for this false accusation. And even while in prison, still continued to serve God. And while he was in prison, he ended up being taken out of prison. And through a whole bunch of crazy that I'll let you read in Genesis there, you'll find out that he was able, through God's anointing that was on his life, to become second in charge of all of Egypt. Now, Egypt, back then, Egypt wasn't like it is right now. Egypt was basically like a Mecca for the whole world, really. It was one of the most powerful nations on the planet. They had everything there. And the simple fact of this, God took Joseph from being beat up, thrown in a pit, sold into slavery, falsely accused and in prison, to putting him second in charge of one of the most powerful nations on the planet at the time. Now, as you can imagine, Joseph's story takes a dramatic twist because guess what? A famine comes into the land and everybody, everywhere, is running out of food. But because of God's blessing on Joseph's life, Joseph had taken and worked with the Egyptians and they had saved up massive stockpiles of food. As they had massive stockpiles of food, guess what? They were able to sell this to other people from other places for a profit. So, with the famine in the land, guess who thinks to walk in to come meet Joseph one day for food? His brothers, the same ones that beat him, sold him into slavery, and started him down this long and crazy path. Guess what happened? Joseph, who had every single right, if there was ever a man who had the right to hold a defense against somebody, it's Joseph. He could have held this offense on. He could have shunned his brothers and made him go away, and then they all would have starved. It would have been the end of it. Joseph, and guess what? When reading the story, you and I would have never thought any different of him, would we? We would look and say, man, this guy was totally justified in doing that. But Joseph was willing to overlook the offense. He was willing to take the opportunity to draw closer to God. And instead of that, he was willing to take his brothers, who he had every right to hate so much. But he blessed them. And guess what? He brought them into his home in Egypt. And they prospered and they thrived. If there was ever a person who had the opportunity to hold on to an offense, Joseph is a great key witness for it. But we understand that our life is too short and our calling is too great to hold on to these offenses, to hold on, to become so petty and self-centered and self-serving that we're not willing to let this stuff go. Because guess what? If you're not willing to let it go, you don't know who you're going to impact. You don't know, like Joseph, you don't know who your brothers are going to be that are going to come to you, that need help, that need you to do something to help change their lives, to help really turn things around for them. And if we're not careful, we'll just turn them away and we'll just live our own existence, our own life. We realize that we extend forgiveness, not because we're all good people, but we extend forgiveness because of Christ who has forgiven us. And if the worship team is going to come out here and get ready, I want to challenge you this today. I just want to challenge you. You've probably had some sort of offense that either you deal with, that you have dealt with, and there's probably broken relationships that you have. And I'm not saying you got to run out of this place today and get on the phone and call people that you've not spoke to in forever. But take the opportunity today to look and see of all these things that you've held on to, all these offenses, all these things that have weighed you down in the past, and see if you can help release some of that and you can walk through. And remember, it's not a light switch probably. It's not going to be one of those things where all of a sudden you're just going to flip a switch and you're going to forgive and it's all going to be cool. It's a process. But I think that if you have the opportunity to do that, you're going to find that you're going to enjoy Christmas so much more. This Christmas will be the most exciting Christmas you've ever experienced in your life, because all those things, those bags you've been carrying around, you'll be able to set them down for a while. You'll be able to find forgiveness and freedom in Christ. And we realize that's how He's called us to live. He's called us to live in that freedom. If you would you stand with me today as we close? I want to let you know that the Holy Spirit is part of the Trinity, okay? The Holy Spirit has the amazing ability to do this. He's able to come, if you ask Him to come and to look into your life and to seek inside of you and to find out things that maybe you tried to forget. Maybe you're just trying to push off and act like they didn't happen. But He can come in and He can draw attention to these things, and He can allow you to be free from these things if you'll only ask Him. Here's the thing. You can easily stay shut off and closed off from the world, or you can take the opportunity to allow God's Spirit to come into you and speak to you. He doesn't normally do it in hurricanes, force winds. He normally does it in a still small voice, and He brings things to your attention. I come to you today, listen, at Discover Church, I tell you, we don't necessarily, you don't have to have the hands raised. You don't have to say any magical formula to be saved, to know Jesus Christ as your Savior. Basically, all you have to do is take the opportunity to ask Christ for His Spirit, the Holy Spirit, to come and to be inside, to live inside your life. All you have to do is you say that, you ask for forgiveness for your mistakes in the past, and guess what? Things can turn around for you really quick.